reactor. Thought we'd be stopped dead. At least stuck at impulse power.
The Takan enhancements must be able to brute force limited bursts of warp output.
Yeah. They won't get to wherever they were headed at this rate. They're just limping along now.
So where does that put us?
Maybe I can answer that. I got the ship's heading.
They've changed course. Drastically.
Looks like they're headed here. The Usonia system. They might stop there.
Can we use the Zeldi's comms to signal your fleet?
Comm systems are locked.
Grab hold!
Oh!
The inertial dampeners can barely keep up. They keep forcing this ship to make these short warp jumps. They're going to tear it apart.
Zeldi is still made by Lydian hands, despite all this Takan corruption. We'll hold.
We just gotta stay safe until Starfleet can find us.
Your people. Is there somewhere you go when you die?
Life after death? No. On my homeworld, some people think they can cheat death in a way by joining with the Trill symbiont. But that's not a life to me.
What about you? Is there another plane of existence for you? With every passing battle, as I get older,
I believe there's an afterlife.
You do?
Yeah.
then you should understand this. My people have a special journey. When Lydians died, we rejoin our comrades, family, and ancestors.
On the parade grounds of Cirella?
That is just one part of it, but yes. Death is not the end for us. So, even if some part of Itasca remains, by letting the Takan use her body, at best we are delaying the inevitable next step for her. At worst, we are leaving her as a prisoner in her own mind. You want to save the transformed. So do I.
Now that I've seen it happen, does it make me a hypocrite to say he has a point? What if we can't get them back? We can't leave them like that, right?
I think Itasca would want to be released.
I know it's awful to think about, but if they're still alive, we can still try to help them. We lose that option once they're dead.
I had a sister, a twin. It's very rare among the Trill.
You never told me that.
She was one of the youngest hosts to ever join with the symbiont. A sentient creature that lives in our body. It's considered a great honor. The symbiont can bring centuries of knowledge and wisdom to the host. But sometimes, the symbiont personality suppresses the host entirely. My sister was the closest person in the world to me. I knew she would be different after joining. But she drew more and more distant. The room we shared growing up was foreign to the both of us. And eventually she, or whoever she'd become, cut me out entirely. So I left for Starfleet and swore I'd never go back. I couldn't stand the thought of seeing her. Someone who looked like my sister.
You should try to see her again. When all this is over. Maybe things have changed for her after you've been away for years.
I couldn't go back. Not now.
You remind me of Itasca.
I do?
Bonds are not made by what runs through your veins, but the blood you spilled together. Itasca was my family in that way. I want you to know there is nothing I won't sacrifice to win this fight. But if we're lucky enough to survive, I'd be honored if you'd count me as one of your tribe. As Itasca was.
Even a couple of engineers like us?
I don't need to wait that long. We've bled together. No one else will know what we've been through. That makes us a tribe. Right here.
I'll take that.
Do they not cease this madness?
What is this place?
Is that the Veskar?
Another one of yours?
Not anymore. They've corrupted it. Just like the Zeldi.
Now there are 2 ships. Did this just get better? Or worse?
It certainly doesn't bode well for the crew of the Veskar. So many lives stolen.
It's worse. This is definitely worse.
Thanks. That really helps.
This doesn't look like the Aphelion. What are they doing here?
You don't think they're just meeting their buddies?
Maybe, but then why are their buddies here?
Prepare for transfer.
The storm. It's back. What happened?
Hold on. Scanning. Metric radiation is dropping. The Zeldi's dropped to minimal power levels.
It's running off just the one warp core now.
That means...
They've sent the Cartabula to that other ship.
Something wrong, Captain?
No, nothing's wrong. In fact, I was just going to call for you. I'm needed down in engineering. The bridge is yours.
Lieutenant Bedrosian, a word, please.
Yes, Commander. What can I do for you?
Listen, the captain may have been compromised.
What?
I have every reason to believe he has been bioformed, and is now actively working against us.
Hold on. This makes no sense. Did Portal do something to you?
I'm dead serious. Someone is sabotaging the mission. They planted a Taconian device in engineering. Captain Solano was in engineering while we were on Delphi Ardu 4, and he purposely evaded Dr. Duval's bioscan. He's not Captain Solano anymore. He's a Scion.
Which would make you Captain. So you're saying you're taking command of the ship? Because if you are, that's one hell of a bold move. And you better be absolutely sure you have your facts straight.
With your help and your backing, yes, I have to.
I'm not signing myself up for mutiny.
I have Duval's support. We're going to ask the captain to undergo a bioscan. When he refuses, I need you to back me up.
I've already sacrificed a lot for this mission. I hope to have a long career, one just like yours. We do this, we could be thrown in the brig, stripped of our rank, or worse. Is it worth risking everything on your hunch? I haven't been a bridge officer for very long. I don't want it to end before it even starts.
I don't know what might happen. But if I can, I will protect you. I'll tell them I forced you into cooperation, that it was all my idea.
I won't make you take the blame alone. So, my answer is yes. I'm with you no matter what. When do we act?
Now. Dr. Duvall is already on the bridge.
All right. I'm ready.
Now or never.
Captain Solano.
Commander Rydek, we need to talk about... Doctor? What brings you to the bridge?
Just a bit of housekeeping. You owe me a bioscan, Captain.
I don't have time for that right now.
It will only take a moment. I can't put this off any longer.
You can, and you will. All you'll find is that I'm quite reasonably under stress given the circumstances, and you aren't making it better. I'll find you in sickbay when I'm good and ready. Or, if you're gonna stand in the way of the mission, I can find you in the brig instead.
Please, Captain.
Denied. Remember your station.
Commander Rydek is right, Captain. We all have to follow the rules.
What is this?
We need you to comply with the scan, Captain.
That's enough. Drop this. All of you. I'm giving you a direct order, Commander Rydek. Stand down and go back to your post. Now. Do not make me tell you again. I've been a starship captain since before you were in the academy.
This is for your own good, Captain.
This is for your own good as well. Security to the bridge. Arrest Commander Rydek. Take her to the brig.
On what charge?
Conspiring with the enemy and mutiny.
Get back. Give her a chance to speak. Let's hear what she has to say.
That's enough, Lieutenant Bedrosian. Step aside or you'll join her in the brig.
No.
This is not Captain Solano. He's been bioformed. He's a scion.
You're out of your mind.
She can prove it.
He sabotaged our efforts to track Galvin with this. He planted it in engineering while we were down on Delphi Ardu-4.
Lies! Perpetrated by the only Takan in our midst, Portal 6-3. He's actively trying to divide us from within.
Captain Solano has refused to be bioscanned because he knows it will reveal he's a scion.
Take her to the brig, or I'll do it myself. Oh!
Wait! Stand down! That's an order!
What is the meaning of this? Everyone hold until we get answers. This cannot happen on the bridge of a Federation starship.
I can prove I'm right if you just give me a chance. If I'm wrong, then I will face the consequences.
If you're wrong, there's no coming back from this.
I'm going to settle this once and for all.
Commander Rydek was right. Captain Solano has been compromised. He's been bioformed into a Takan.
As the Chief Medical Officer of the USS Resolute, I'm relieving Captain Zachary Solano of command.
Take him to the brig.
I don't know what I expected, but not this. I can't believe I shot the captain. I don't think Starfleet likes it when you do that. Even when you're right.
If it helps, that wasn't really the captain.
I mean, intellectually, sure. I understand that. But he looks and sounds exactly like him. I'm not sure I'll ever get that out of my head.
Set course for the Usonia system. Maximum warp. It's time to face Galvin.
Yes, Commander. Sorry. Captain. On your command.
Engage.
To maximum, but with the algorithms compromised, they may not do much.
Captain, that other Elydian ship is here.
The Zeldi?
We're outnumbered.
Captain, your orders.
Evasive maneuvers.
Aye, Captain.
Veskar's warp engines are powering up.
The warp engines are offline.
That must have been their goal. They didn't want us to chase the Veskar.
According to my readings, they also took the Cartabula with them.
They're not breaking off. We have to destroy the Zeldi before it destroys us.
Diaz and Edsalar still over there?
They'll need to evacuate.
Come on.
I almost have it.
They gotta know we're here. Hurry! You got it?
Got it. Diaz to Resolute.
We read you, Diaz.
This is Ermot. It's good to hear your voice. Is Edsalar... is she with you? Everyone wants to know.
Yeah, we're both here. We're both okay.
Very good, Petty Officer.
Can you get us out of here?
I can't transport you out while the Zeldi's shields are up. Our phaser fire won't even get through. Is there another way off that ship?
We'll find a way.
Whatever you do, you'll have to be quick about it. Because we can't give you much more time. We can't evade the Zeldi forever.
Understood. Diaz out. We're gonna have to get out of here the old-fashioned way.
Lydian ships have no escape pods.
We can leave out that cargo bay we transported to before. But then there's the vacuum of space to contend with.
Those freight containers. Maybe we could use those to make an escape pod?
Is that even possible?
We're gonna make it possible. Unless you have a better idea.
Let's go.
I've polarized the hull plating. That should allow us to take a few more hits. Enemy phaser impact dissipated.
Heading, Captain?
Attack pattern Delta. Target ventral power couplings.
Aye, Captain.
Zeldy, in range.
Fire!
Zeldy's shields down to 82%.
We're doing damage, but they're hitting us right back. We'll run out of hull before we penetrate their shields.
Perhaps I can be of assistance. I can modify your impulse engines to amplify their meager output and avoid more of their attacks. But I will need full access to your propulsion systems.
That goes against dozens of Starfleet regulations.
Not a security risk if the alternative is destruction.
To me, it's simple. You can take this beating and hope you can weather it. Or will you put your trust in me? I've left everything behind for you. The least you can do is put your faith in me.
Commander Ermot, give portal access to the propulsion systems. You're going to have the ship in your hands. Don't let me down.
This will take a moment.
Your ship has let up its fire.
That gives us some time.
All right. One of these freight containers should do the trick.
Be quick.
We need one big enough for all of us to fit inside. Something we can make airtight.
Not enough room for the big guy.
Damn it. Not this one.
Here we go. This'll work.
That's great, but it's not airtight yet.
No problem. We'll just seal it up.
This container is extremely heavy. Even with the containment field open, it won't leave the bay quickly. I'll find something to accelerate our exit.
Glancing blow. Very little damage.
I cannot keep this up for long.
Their phaser banks are recharging. Now's our window. We have to strike back.
I agree.
Their next barrage could be our last. Better make this count.
Target their weapon systems. Take the teeth out of their bite.
That could make them run. Just like the Veskar, we'd lose Diaz and Edzilar again. Hit their engines. We've already lost the Veskar.
We need to protect ourselves first.
Target their propulsion systems. I don't want them going anywhere.
Targeting their engines.
Whoa. We gotta move it now.
These will give us the push we need.
Those are explosives.
We'll ride the blast right out of here. All set.
I'll set the containment field to deactivate, and then run back. We can detonate by remote.
We'll need to seal the doors from inside the container once we do.
Before all the air sucks out of the cargo bay.
Just a few more moments.
Hurry! What are they doing in there? Please, help me!
No. But the Khan get what they deserve.
Don't leave me to die.
I don't know. Can we really leave her?
We can't. We don't have the time. We have to seal ourselves in.
This ship can't fly! Sidron set it to self-destruct! Please! Amenta!
Oh,
It's not her.
no. I know it's not.
Carter, we have to seal the doors.
Don't leave me!
Get this lifeboat off the ship before Sidron blows it all to hell!
We're going.
Hetzelar to Resolute.
I have the away team.
Go ahead.
We're about to exit.
We see the cargo bay containment field is deactivated.
Get that tractor beam ready. And you should know, the Zeldy is set to self-destruct.
If we do enough damage to the Zeldy first, it'll prevent the self-destruct sequence from completing.
We can't wait any longer. We have to fire.
Captain, they're almost out of there.
We need to act fast.
Hold all fire! Get out of there, Petty Officer. Do it now!
You heard her.
Done!
Ready?
Detonate! We're out.
I have them on sensors. Tractor beam activating.
Locked on and ready to fire.
Fire!
Tractor beam's locked on. We have them. They'll be pulled into the docking bay shortly.
There's something else. I tracked a transporter signal to the planetoid moments before the Zeldy detonated.
Sidron.
There's a Takan structure there. It's the reason they were here. It's the reason we are here. Now.
I have to see it for myself. We'll go there together.
I had assumed as much.
Is this the Takan arsenal Galvin was after?
Legend says this region once held the sacred mysteries of the Takan Empire. Our greatest treasure. Our most fearsome technology.
I want a full security detail. Westbrook, Bridrosian, you're with me. Mr. Ermont, you have the con.
Wait. You're not the first officer anymore. The captain is supposed to stay with the ship. I'm surprised Lieutenant Bedrosian didn't raise that first.
I thought Captain Rydek knew what she was doing.
You're right. But this is too important for me to sit out. You'll just have to make sure nothing happens to me down there.
Of course, Captain.
We'll deal with the first officer vacancy when we return. Until then, Mr. Ermont?
Yes, Captain.
Any sign of Sidron?
Not that I can see.
High alert, everyone. The enemy could be anywhere. Follow my lead.
Let's make this a short mission, all right?
That's the plan.
I'm no security officer. I'll do my best to make sure nothing happens to you, Captain. Phasers should take a quick look at the ice. Is this another Takan vault?
I don't see a way in.
The vault in the mines was already open.
There must be some way to activate it.
Portal, can you open it? It is a Taconian vault.
I thought you'd never ask. You're welcome. Better to keep it simple. Sometimes the answer is staring you right in the face.
Thank you. Definitely easier this way. Spread out. Let's see what we can find. And stay on high alert. We don't know where the Takan that beamed down here could be.
my help, Commander.
How so?
Traversal here is trivial for a Takan, but only a Takan. When you come across a device you cannot use, merely call my name.
Will do. Thank you. Portal? What is that void down there?
Space, folded upon itself. A fairly simple concept.
For a Takan, perhaps?
I advise against falling in.
This pattern resembles the transporter device Petty Officer Maris used to escape the Resolute. Portal 6-3?
You wish to make use of this device?
It's a transporter of some kind?
It allows Takan to move through space instantly a short distance. Very convenient. I will activate the system for you.
Where does it go?
I'm not sure. The markings here must be from after my time.
Well, only one way to find out. Soil. Just soil. It's not from this planet, nor any planet in the Federation database. Why is this here?
This is soil from the homeworld. Our capital system. This isn't an arsenal. It's a temple of the ancients. Sacred ground to the Takan. I took my oath as a guardian of the Empire in a place just like this. You cannot imagine the look of pride in my parents' eyes as they said goodbye. Forever. Sorry. This is the first I've seen of anything new from the Takan Empire in a very long time. I'm sure you're familiar with the feeling. That sense of loss. I thought I was ready for it. But it cuts to the core of your being.
I totally understand that feeling. It's unavoidable and inescapable no matter what you do.
Yes, It's that distant but familiar feeling that's forever just out of reach.
Can you use this to find out more about what Galvin is after?
The information's encrypted. I can only discern that it's a warship. No. It's the Aphelion. Perhaps the most powerful Draconian ship ever built. I can't access the full file yet. Looking through the ship's schematics, it appears to be equipped with some sort of experimental, highly advanced transporter technology.
Transporter technology? For what?
Captain, you better come see this. There are more up ahead.
From the looks of it, I'd say someone left in a hurry.
Probably right around the time we showed up.
I've seen these before, in the other vault. And if all of those are the same as this, then there must be...
Hundreds of millions, if not billions. All that remains of the Dakan civilization. Distinct person, encapsulated in crystalline form. Preserved for all eternity.
I doubt Galvin would willingly leave these behind. So odds are, he'll be back.
Unless this is why he sent Sidron here. What you have to understand is, these life forms were preserved for the benefit of the Dakan civilization. As a means of safeguarding the health and well-being of any Dakan, should they fall prey to illness or injury. They were never intended to be used for this purpose.
There you are wrong. This was always their purpose. To restore the glory that was lost. Congratulations on your first victory in battle, Captain Rydek. You killed a great many of my compatriots, some that I've known for millennia. Are you proud of how much death you've caused? Each Dakan life is precious, irreplaceable. Centuries of knowledge and culture, lost with each one you murder.
Your friends died because of you. If you hadn't attacked us, there could have been a peaceful solution.
I've seen the kind of results diplomacy gets in this era. You can hardly blame me for wanting a quicker result. Thankfully, I don't have to convince you of anything. We'll all be on the same side soon enough.
You can't just bioform whoever you want. Not without a fight.
Ah, but that's just it. There won't be a fight. In fact, most won't even know what's happened. 1 minute you're standing there as you. The next you're standing here as one of us.
He's talking about mass transformation. That's what the Aphelion was built for.
The transporter. It'll reconstitute your DNA and bioform you into a Dakan in the blink of an eye. This is what they'll use as ammunition.
In a manner of speaking, yes. Of course, that's the simple version. But the end result will be the same.
You're talking about a crime against sentient life on a mass scale.
Or an evolutionary process where the strongest and most capable survive. The Aphelion is on its way here as we speak. Now it's only a matter of time. You can't delay that which is inevitable. Which makes your next decision fairly simple, brother. You are, after all, a portal.
I am.
Your sole purpose is to serve as a guardian of the Takan Empire. But you stand here surrounded not by your fellow Takan, but by members of the Federation. By people who deny our fundamental right to exist. You swore an oath to protect the Empire. And I can only assume that's why you're here.
There is only one true Takan here, and that's Portal. You're a scion, a disgrace to the memory of the Takan, brought back through unnatural means.
I only tolerate your presence so long as you continue to amuse me. Which side are you on?
Captain Rydek, long-range sensors suggest a massive spacecraft approaching in the distance.
The time has come. I hope we speak again, brother.
Estimated time to contact, 6 minutes and counting.
We can't stay here. We have to get back to the ship.
And we have to preserve these souls. We must take them back to your ship.
Those crystals are ammunition to be used against us. We have to destroy them. Bombard the site from orbit.
I'll decide, once we're safely aboard the Resolute. 4 to transport.
You have to hear me out, Captain. I lost my eyes because of you. I committed mutiny for you. But if you bring those things on board, I'll have no choice but to resign.
If they're taken to the Aphelion, they will be forced into new bodies, brought back to life in a way they never asked for.
They're not living beings, but they're still dangerous. And if you don't make decisions to protect us, we're gonna end up like Solano. You, me, the entire crew. We're all next.
Two minutes and counting. It's headed straight toward the vault. The Aphelion is coming into view now, Captain.
On screen.
Arrival at the second vault in less than a minute.
I would remind you, those life forms are Takan, not science. Takan. They're not your enemy.
Right or wrong, history will judge you for this moment.
Transport the storage crystals aboard the Resolute.
Did I hear that right?
That's an order.
storage crystals are on board in our cargo bay.
Thank you. I won't forget this.
I hope you realize what you've done. We don't need another captain who's gonna risk our lives just to feed their ego. This ship and this crew come first.
Lieutenant.
She has to hear it.
Stand down, Lieutenant Bedrosian. It's done.
Yes, Captain. And to think, I used to look up to you.
The Aphelion is targeting us, approaching rapidly.
They hit us with that bioforming ray, and it's over. Maximum warp. Get us out of here.
Where, Captain?
Anywhere but here. Now!
There they are!
You did what had to be done with the Tusker. I know you held out hope, but it's what she would have wanted. The Tusker can rest now. Even if I wavered in the moment. It wasn't a question of time.
I'm sorry you lost your friend.
In her final moments, I'm sure she counted you as a friend as well.
No surprises here. But your shoulder's separated. If you come with me to sickbay, we can get you fixed up in no time.
Thank you. I'll find you afterwards.
You two, check in at your stations. This thing isn't over yet.
Tell me, did any crew from the Zelti survive?
Well, since the Lydian ships have no escape pods, I think it was just us.
I see. I thought so. I had a partner on board. After this mission, she and I were meant to. Doesn't matter. All that matters now is making the Takan pay for what they've done.
We'll stop them. I promise. She was a good little escape pod. Not that I want another ride like that anytime soon.
You're really making us proud out there, Diaz. The lower decks don't get a lot of glory.
Well, I'm just getting started.
Hey, Diaz.
Yeah?
Did you see our people over there? Miranda?
Kapoor, Hauser?
We saw Miranda and Kapoor, but they're bioformed. And as far as I know, there's no way to undo it.
It means they're not our friends anymore.
If they attack us?
We'll have to stop them. No matter what it takes.
Yeah. I guess we have to be ready for that.
I can't believe it, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing Chobok. Not that I'd expect this kind of welcome from him, but I can just imagine the look on his face.
You know what? I want to see him too. It'll be nice to get one piece of normalcy.
I'm sure we can count on him for that.
I
can't believe it. You evaded the Takan, ejected their warp cores, and lived to talk about it.
That about sums it up.
They're gonna be teaching this at the Academy for years to come. I mean it. Everybody's gonna learn how you pulled it off.
When they do, make sure they get my name right. D-I-A-Z. Diaz. Edsalars too.
I'm sure no one will forget. I heard about Belle. Is Miranda...
As far as we know, she's still out there.
Well, I know Captain Rydek will do her best to get her back.
Hold on. Rydek? What about Captain Solano?
He was turned into a Takan. Rydek had to take over. She's a hell of an officer, but none of us have been up against anything like this. No one has. Not in 500,000 years.
We'll just have to step up and work that much harder to help Captain Rydek.
It's gonna take all of us.
Talk to you later.
It is agreeable to see you again.
Is that so?
It was by no means a certainty that you would return to duty here.
It's great to be seen, boss. There were a few moments out there off the ship where I wasn't really sure we'd be making it back either. Everything here in engineering's kind of a sight for sore eyes.
Indeed. You should know your absence has left engineering terribly short-handed. During your sojourn, this department has fallen unacceptably behind schedule on both regular and irregular duties.
There's been a whole lot of irregularity going around.
Seems like you could use some help around here. We're ready to go to work.
I'd like to catch my breath for at least a few minutes, Carter.
Normally, I would assign you to one of the many pressing repair tasks. But, given your experience on board the Zeldi, I have suggested you join the senior staff briefing as we determine our next course of action. You can commence your maintenance shift afterwards.
I tended to an Elydian earlier. Major Sarlet Arminta.
Ah, yes. I met him at the negotiations.
I never would have imagined I'd be here, on the same ship, working together with our oppressors. But now that I am, I can imagine a future where the Hotari and Elydians are no longer enemies. I always hoped for peace, but it seems so far away.
Peace is often fleeting. If there's a chance, you should take it.
Peace with our former enemies may be hard for some to accept, but it's what my people need.
It's coming along nicely. Thank you, Tylus. I'll take it from here. We're almost done.
I have to brief Ambassador Spock in a few minutes.
Ambassador Spock can wait. You have some fences to mend. Personally, I'm against the needless destruction of innocent life forms, so I'm glad you transported the Taconian crystals onto the ship. But Lieutenant Bedrosian obviously feels otherwise. And right now, you need the full support of your bridge crew. Being an effective leader requires trust, but an issue as divisive as this can create discord.
I still need and value contrary opinions. I don't want everyone agreeing with me when they feel otherwise.
Oh, you'll know when Lieutenant Bedrosian doesn't agree with something. She's not shy about making her opinion known. It's been a chaotic last few days for everyone. You need to name a new first officer in preparation for what's coming. You'll have to work to regain Lieutenant Bedrosian's trust, but if she's removed from consideration, it comes down to Westbrook or Ermot. Obviously, there are pros and cons with each, but ultimately, the decision is yours. Commander Westbrook has seniority and was hoping to be Captain Solano's first officer. Ermot has the knowledge and experience that makes him more than qualified.
I don't mind saying I consider Commander Ermot a strong candidate for the role.
He'd be a popular choice with the crew. and bring a steadiness to the position that others might lack. Certainly not a controversial choice, but then some may perceive that as playing it safe. You're as good as new.
Thank you, Dr. Duvall.
Always nice to have a captive audience. You really shouldn't keep Ambassador Spock waiting.
Captain.
I'll meet you inside.
I'm here to officially tender my resignation from the crew of the USS Resolute. I cannot in good conscience continue to serve aboard this ship, not while the interests of the enemy take precedent over the safety of the crew.
Listen, Lieutenant. I understand how you feel, and I respect your opinion. You're one of the most valuable officers on the bridge, which is why I cannot accept your resignation.
I'm sorry, Captain, but I expected as much. Which is why I already submitted my letter of resignation to Starfleet Command.
My door is always open if you change your mind.
We'll have Ambassador Spock via subspace shortly.
Thank you, Mr. Armand.
I'll notify Lieutenant Bedrosian we're about to begin.
That won't be necessary.
Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar have first-hand experience with our adversaries. I thought it advantageous for them to join this briefing. I understand this is unusual, but I trust you have no objections?
Talk about moving up in the world. Not that I'm surprised in the least.
Excellent idea, Mr. Chovak. They deserve to be here.
In all seriousness, what Diaz and Edsalar accomplished aboard the Zeldi is nothing short of remarkable. They're both to be commended, not only for surviving against incredible odds, but for helping our efforts against these scions.
You know, Carter deserves most of the credit. None of us would have made it without his help. We'd all be bioformed by this point.
There were way more people involved than just me. Not only Petty Officer Edsalar, but we had help from an Elydian officer named Arminta as well.
Interesting.
Ambassador Spock is ready for you.
Put him through.
Captain Rydek, your recent change in station certainly warrants mention, and I trust you to faithfully execute your expanded duties. Right now, we must keep our attention on the clear and present danger that lies ahead, the Takan and their warship. The closest populations are the Hotari and Elydian systems, and they are likely the first targets for mass bioforming. After that, lies Federation space. I have advised Starfleet Command to send an impromptu battle group to intercept and assist you, but that will take time. You are our first line of defense. And with our shield algorithms compromised, we are at a great disadvantage.
I'm glad to hear the battle group is en route, Ambassador. With what we're up against, we're gonna need all the help we can get.
And you will have it. Remember, our strength is drawn from our ability to work together towards a common goal.
Have we made any progress in finding a way to defend ourselves from the Aphilion's bioforming weapon?
Currently, our shields will not protect us, but I am compiling all of the information the away team gathered on the Zeldi and cross-referencing it against our own as well as Portal 6-3's methods.
The away team is sitting right here. They survived without getting bioformed, so we know it's possible. So, what's the secret? How do we defend ourselves? Is there a weakness we can exploit? Something we can do to avoid getting bioformed?
I wish I could tell you the solution. But the truth is, there is no easy answer. There's no defense against bioforming. One-on-one or on a mass scale. At least, not that I know of.
You may not be able to stop it, but it might be possible to slow it down. It's too soon to say for sure, but we've had some promising indications that Duridium can delay the bioforming process.
Duridium?
It's not a cure. It's not going to bring anyone back we've already lost. But Duridium is a cell stabilizer, so it has the potential to slow down the onset of physical and mental changes, if not entirely prevent them. And might be the only ship in the fleet with this much Duridium on hand. In fact, a lot of ships wouldn't have any.
You say that it slows the process, but this doesn't actually stop the Takan from taking over, does it?
Correct. I can't be 100% certain, but it appears this is only a short-term solution. Also, it requires a much larger dose to be effective. We don't have enough Duridium on board to protect the whole crew. We barely have enough to protect everyone in this room.
Sounds like it won't do us much good then.
The use case I'd suggest is that it could buy a little time for an officer or a small group to complete a task or mission. But it has to be taken at the moment of exposure to the bioforming mechanism.
Prepare a delivery method for this remedy.
That raises the question. What is the mission?
Assuming the Aphelion uses shields of some kind, I don't expect it will be easy to bypass their defenses.
We may not be able to block the Aphelions' attack either. But if they do strike, we know their weapon uses transporter technology. We might be able to backtrack their signal path.
Like we did to evacuate Captain Rydek from Tau.
Exactly. We could send an away team onto the Aphelion.
So we could destroy it from the inside.
I'm not exactly sure how, but that's the idea.
So it's like jujitsu. We use their attack and turn it against them.
That's the idea.
We'll keep thinking on it. I'd rather not have to take a direct hit to punch back. There might be some other way we can turn their strength into a weakness.
We'll need to prepare a boarding party, if it comes to that.
Petty Officers Edsalar and Diaz are the logical choices to lead any away mission to the Aphelion. They have already crippled one enemy ship. If anyone can do so again, it is them.
This isn't like the engineering mission that took you to the Zeldi. Do you really have some special insights that a tactical team wouldn't?
Doesn't the fact that we're here speak for itself?
Just surviving won't be enough this time.
You're forgetting it's too dangerous to destroy the Cartabula, right?
That is still our understanding. It could cause a rift in space itself.
So, we can't just beam over to the Aphelion and set off an explosive. We need to find a way to shut it down from the inside.
Precisely my thinking.
If this is the necessary course of action, I support it.
With the help of Portal. He should be part of the away team.
I will compile all the latest data on the tricorders, just in case.
In the meantime, I want you working on ways we can combat the Takan tech. Shields, weapons, anything we can use.
Yes, Captain.
Anything else, Ambassador?
I know this matter is in capable hands. Hold the line as best you can. Help is on the way.
Thank you. I have faith in all of you to meet this moment with the urgency it requires. I expect all of us to give it everything we've got. Thank you, Petty Officers Diaz and Edsalar. You're dismissed.
While we have a quorum of senior staff, there is a procedural element we need to take care of. The Resolute command codes must be transferred to Captain Rydek for control of the ship.
Of course.
Computer, transfer all command codes to Captain Jara Rydek. Voice authorization Ermot, Echo 4 Lima.
Voice authorization Duval, Beta 2, Yankee.
Voice authorization Westbrook, Alpha 7 Tango.
Awaiting your authorization, Captain.
Voice authorization, Rydek. Alpha 3, Whiskey.
Captain's codes transfer. The updated command structure is incomplete. Please designate a new first officer.
Who is the new first officer?
Please designate a new first officer.
I am proud to name Commander Ermont as my new first officer, effective immediately. Congratulations.
Thank you, Captain. I promise I won't let you down.
Computer, Commander Ermont is the new first officer of the USS Resolute.
Awaiting voice authorization.
Voice authorization Ermont, Echo 4 Lima.
Authorization is now complete.
Now, if you'll excuse me, there's work to be done.
Nicely done. I think that went well.
Captain Rydek!
Excuse me for a minute.
This is just unbelievable, unacceptable, inexplicable! To be the most senior officer on the bridge, and to be passed over again? I couldn't believe you went to Lieutenant Bedrosian with the information about Captain Solano being compromised instead of me. I've never felt more humiliated.
I know how you must feel given your seniority and history aboard this ship. You have every right to be angry. But I had to factor what would best serve our interests at this particular point in time. Which is why I chose Commander Ermont.
He's not even close to being first officer material. He's little more than a bureaucrat who's never set foot off the ship. That is a serious liability at a time when we need experience. Otherwise we don't stand a chance against the Scions.
The crew on this ship has experienced as many challenges and tragedies as any crew could be expected to endure. What we need now, more than anything, is stability and reliability. A calm and reassuring presence.
Ridiculous.
Understand. Giving everything she's got, it doesn't make a difference. Something is actively slowing us down.
Keep trying. What's the situation in engineering?
I can't raise them. Internal comms are down.
It's the ionic interference. It's spiking again. If we reinitialize the central communications trunk, it should compensate. I know the process, Captain. With your permission, I'll go handle it.
Of course.
If Galvin manages to catch us, there's nothing we can do. We're no match for Taconian technology. Not to mention the shield frequencies. As if that wasn't enough of a challenge of its own.
I'll consider any suggestions from my first officer.
We're being pulled out of warp!
I've got the Aphelion rapidly bearing down on our position.
We're being hailed by the Aphelion. Galvin demands to be heard.
On screen.
You thought you could run? That I would let you escape so easily after taking what's mine? How pathetic and predictable. At least you can take solace knowing you'll be a far braver Takan than you were as a cowardly Kobliad. Is it any wonder your people perished? If your every instinct is to run from a fight.
You underestimate the lengths I'm willing to go to ensure you don't succeed.
Sadly, this is as far as you'll get. We both know I hold your fate in the palm of my hand. That I could crush you in an instant if I so desired. And as much as I'd like to, you have another purpose to serve. As one of us.
Red alert! Pandar, get us out of here!
They've hit us. Decks 8 through 10. I'm not reading any structural damage.
They were targeting the crew, not the ship.
Captain, we have to respond with force. Return fire. Don't let them attack without a counter.
Fire photon torpedoes! Target the source of the beam!
No damage from the photon torpedoes, Captain. Their shields are still at full strength. The Aphilion's just too powerful.
Damage report from the lower decks.
Still can't get through on the comms, Captain. If that was the bioforming ray, we have to assume there are now Takan on board the Resolute. They could all be Takan at this point. Or will be soon enough.
Get an urgent message to Starfleet Command. Tell them we've been hit by the Aphilion's bioforming ray. There may be hostile Takan aboard this ship.
I'll notify them at once.
Here are your new tricorders. Now go. Get to the transporter room.
Who's on what side, Carter? Come on!
Transporter room 1.
You're coming with us?
A security officer told me your funeral, which I gladly accepted.
These are concentrated iridium doses. You need to take the dose as soon as you're exposed for it to be effective. Hell, take it right before if you can get the Takan to wait while you do it.
I'm having trouble locking onto the transporter path through the interference.
I've done this before. I have to align the transporter with the tetrametric signature. We need to tunnel through the shields. There's a problem. We don't have enough power to make the jump. I might be able to divert power from
Stand aside. The signal is now resolved. I couldn't let you fumble about any longer. Time is running short.
Thanks for that.
No need. We must be on our way. I am Portal 6-3, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Nice to meet you, Portal.
We're right behind you.
Do us proud over there. Ready to transport.
Energize.
glory of it. This ship is a marvel. Even to me, it's almost a shame we have to scuttle it. The galaxy has never seen a ship like this.
No turning back now, Portal.
We are where we need to be. Now, we just have to do the job.
You were speaking my language.
Resolute, come in! We're losing cohesion. I'm gonna try to use my tricorders and pattern enhance. The signal's gone. Are they there? Did you get them?
They didn't make it.
The interference is too strong. We're trapped here. We have to get to the Cartabula and disable it.
Hopefully before the battle group shows up.
Get served up for the Aphelions' next meal.
I am saturated in Draconian power readings. I can't feel the source just yet.
This way.
Nothing. I can't reach anyone on the lower decks. Internal comms appear to be fully operational again.
That bioforming ray may have transformed dozens of crew members on the lower decks.
Fighting the Aphelion is bad enough. The last thing we need is an insurrection on our own ship.
Which means we have a narrow window of time to cut them off before...
Captain! We're holding them off as best we can on Deck 9, but...
If they spread throughout the decks, we'll never know who to trust.
I need actionable information. How many have been affected? Can this be contained? Send a team to investigate and assess the situation, and have them report back immediately.
I'll send a team at once.
And what happens if some of the bioformed manage to escape? How should the crew engage them? Or should they?
We should be cautious. If a situation arises, I want phasers set to stun.
Of course. I'll let the crew know to proceed with caution.
Commander Westbrook has been gone for quite some time.
The comm system he went to investigate. It's near the affected area. Commander Westbrook? Commander Westbrook, are you there?
Computer shutdown initiated.
Commander Westbrook. He's the one who initiated the shutdown.
That's impossible.
We have 10 minutes until the computer core shuts down and all systems are completely offline. A complete loss of all critical ship functions. Only the captain can override it. The computer core itself.
With me.
We went down to investigate the lower
some of them had already escaped. They attacked us immediately.
Just, making sure everyone's okay.
Master Console is up there. I don't have much time.
Captain, are you in here? Are you all right? Ermont asked me to come find you. I came the minute I heard you might be in danger. I'll get this door open. I think I remember the code. Hope you haven't been hurt, Captain. It's not safe here. Chaos in the halls.
Tell me, where were you when the bioforming ray hit the ship?
I was in the turbo lift. Now just stay still. These Federation weapons are so primitive.
Computer termination sequence in progress.
Damn it!
I'm done playing games with you, Captain. You're only delaying the inevitable.
Computer termination sequence in progress. Awaiting Captain's authorization.
Cancel computer shutdown!
Kill me. It goes against everything you believe in. Besides, you and I, we have history.
Westbrook and I have history. You're not him.
Okay. Okay.
Awaiting Captain's authorization. Awaiting Captain's authorization.
Cancel computer shutdown. Voice authorization, Rydick. Alpha 3. Whiskey.
Termination sequence cancelled.
These are the arteries of power coming from the cortabula at the heart of the Aphelion. I can feel it coursing through my own body. Look there. I cannot move as freely inside this ship. Those emitters are why. If they were deactivated, I could travel past this chamber without setting foot in it.
Only Takan can use Takan technology. How do I turn them off?
Place these on the emitters. It will suppress their effect. The guards none the wiser.
Got it.
I'm coming too.
If we both get caught, it's over. If it's just me, you can try again after I fail.
Well then, don't screw it up.
I can't face or any of the guards. It'll alert every Takan in here. Those guards can see the whole room from there. How am I gonna get past them? Maybe the crystals portal gave me will get a reaction out of these consoles. Worked! Now move. Let's get out of here.